Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In these videos, I show you how to make one tangle using the Zentangle method of drawing. Today I'm using my Micron pen, PN plastic nib. I have a graphite pencil for some drawing and shading, and a blending tool called a tortillion. I'm also using a 2" by 2" tile called the bijou tile, and these are all available at zentangle.com. You can also get them from me at my Facebook page called Let's Tangle. All right, let's get started. So today's tangle is called Tipplescu, which is a tangulation or a combination of tipple and fescue. And I absolutely love this one. Okay, we're gonna flip this over. And we're gonna start by picking up our pencil. And I'm just going to pencil in a little box around the inside. So sometimes we do kind of a picture frame, but I really want this to be about the width of my pencil, maybe a little bit more. I just need this really faint line. So Tipplescu is done more as like a vine or a ribbon. It can be used as a border. So what I'm doing is combining it into more of a shape that's connected instead of just being a long wavy piece. I know that doesn't make sense, but when you see it, hopefully it will. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my pen to get started. You can continue this part in pencil if you're more comfortable. So this little square is just sort of my road map, my guide of where I want to put these pretty orbs. So I'm gonna start up here in the corner, and I'm just going to put a fairly large orb up there. It's about the size of my fingernail. And then I'm going to follow this road and make this kind of zigzag around it. So I've got that orb there. I'm going to put another one up here. Do this one a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to put one over here. And then maybe I'll do a large one again. And I'm continuing around. I'm going to put a smaller one down here. Another larger one. And how about one right there? These could have gone more inside that pencil line, but mine just sort of ended up this way, so that's what we're going with. Okay, that is the tipple part of Tipplescu. So tipple is just circles, and then fescue is the part we're going to do at the end. So right now we need to connect these. So to connect these, we're going to use an S shape. So I'm going to turn mine so that I've got my first two circles right here. And I'm going to make my S shape go over the top of this and come down to the bottom of this one. So I just trace that for a second, and then I curve down and come around the bottom. And I'm going to do that 2 times. So I did it once. I'm going to do it again. And this time I went out a little bit, giving it this little kind of a ribbon feel. So I go to the next one, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start at the top of that S shape and end at the bottom. And then I do a second one, and I bump out a little and then come back in. Turning this as I go. You don't have to, but it makes it easier for me to get that S shape. And just continue connecting those. And those little ribbons can be as narrow or as wide as you would like. Then I connect my last two, which creates this little shape. If I didn't connect them, then I could maybe make this S shape go off to the side as if it was coming in off the side of the paper. But I'm going to go ahead and connect mine. There we go. I love Zentangle patterns that look specifically like a flower or, something more natural. But I also love ones that just have no exact thing they need to look like. Then there's really no way to mess it up. And I love this one. This one looks very organic to me, but it doesn't look like anything specific in our world. Okay, so we've got our little tipple in there, and then we have our ribbons, and now we're going to add some fescue. So fescue is a curved line with a teardrop at the top. So we're going to put these inside these circles, and I'm going to kind of imagine it curving, that's hard to explain, kind of curving off of this line here, and then it's going to come up and curve in like that. And then we close it off with this little teardrop shape. So I'm going to go to the next one. I'm just kind of taking one of those little curves and coming in. I hope that's making sense. Just curving it up and in and making that little shape at the top. Then we're going to fill those in. You can round them out as you fill them in. Okay, now here comes the fun part. So fescue, if you've watched any of my other videos, fescue is something that I add to so many of the drawings that I do. It's just a nice little flair, a nice little accent piece. And so this one I was so drawn to because you can just add these everywhere and it just fills up our page. Okay, so I'm going to start with this little circle up here on top. And we're going to add fescue, and it's going to come and kind of grow out of these little crevices. So I've got this corner up here that I can add some fescue to. So I'm going to just take my pen, curl it up, and do that little shape. I'm going to do 2 of them. It does not matter which way they face. It does not matter how long or how short they are. We're just kind of filling up space now. Now I'm going to go to this next one, and I've got the little crevice here. So now they're going to come out this way, and I can make them come out and be long. I can make them go up, make them short, whatever you want to do. So since I've got a big area in the middle, I'm going to make these a little bit longer. And then for fescue, let me turn this over for a minute. You can make just a curve with that little teardrop on top, or you can make it more of an S or a backwards S. Just kind of keeping it curvy and then doing the top. I like to make mine different lengths to add interest. So at the other side of this orb, I've got this little tiny space here. There's not much room, so I'm just going to add one little one. Then I go to my next orb, and these ones are going to come up this way. I'm going to try to fit 2 in there. On the other side of the orb, these can come this way, or they can curve out here and fill up this corner. I'm kind of adding 2 to each section, but again, you can add more. Maybe I'll do a third one the other way, just to show you. Now we've got this section here. And again, I kind of want these to head up towards the center. So I'm going to do a nice long one. I've got this outside section here, and you don't have to add it to each section. So if you've got a spot that just seems busy and you don't want to put one, you don't have to. Gonna do one right there for now. You're just going orb to orb. We're getting towards the end. I've got mine filled in. Now I can kind of step back and look, and if there's any empty spaces, like right here is kind of a big space, maybe I'll add another one. And then each of these I'm going to fill in, but I'm going to leave a little tiny spot of white on each one, as if it has a little reflection. So a little bit of white space. And filling those in. I love how elegant this looks. This is the easy part, just going back in and adding these little details. Feel free to add more of that fescue if you feel like you've got some space for it. Could also vary the size of your fescue. If you want to make some of them a little bit larger. I kind of like adding a couple of those, adding some ink around them to make them just a little bit bigger than the rest of them, just to add interest. It looks so cool. All right, now I'm going to grab my graphite pencil, and the shading on this is going to be simple. We're just going to take each of these ribbons and we're going to put a little bit of graphite in that tight crevice of each one. So both sides, and then we're going to push that out towards the center, but leaving the center white. So go to each of those little ribbons. Add that graphite right down in there, nice and tight. And then pushing that out. Look how pretty those look. And then my blending tool has some graphite on it, so I'm going to go into these circles and I'm just going to add some round little accents. So it is done. However, when I was making mine, when I think of Tipple, I think of little circles. So it's finished. However, if you want to add a little bit more, I need to do some blending here. Okay. I went back and added Tipple, these little circles, just in a few spots. So like I'd put a Tipple there and then ink in that area. Maybe I would put one here and one next to it. This is not part of the tangle, but I just thought it added a little bit of fun. So if you want to, I just have a hard time stopping. I like to keep on drawing. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. But isn't that kind of a fun little addition? And then we always need to initial our work. And then the back, I put the date and I write a little journal entry about what's going on in my life. So I hope you enjoyed that. Tipplescu. So elegant. I can see using it on cards. It's so pretty. All right, enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.